Oh, we're live again. What? How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
You hear me?
I said, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. You ain't got no
The
music?
uneducated educated show. You know what we do? We play some soca before we go
Oh, I was wondering.
into the show.
Ain't no
Wait for some
music.
people to get in here.
Oh no, that made my glasses worse. I'm terrible with this.
You hear the- you don't hear the music, Ashley?
Mm-mm. No, we don't. I cleaned my glasses before I came in here, and they're a mess. Oh, hold on. I still don't hear the music, by the way.
I know.
Okay.
Well, we won't be playing no music today. Things is going a little array, unfortunately.
Oh no,
Anywho, it's an
you just
uneducated
have to
educated
call.
show. Back with another one. What's going on, people? Ash?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Sorry. I know you
Of
can't see me
course, you
right
know,
now. First,
today's topic is red flags. We are talking about stuff that you would see in a relationship that you should worry about. One of the biggest red flags uh, that most people say is lying. Let's talk about lying.
oof, Lord, let's get into it.
What, quite honestly, lying in a relationship definitely does not help any type of a relationship with any hold on a second. Uh, so you need to be
All right.
honest in your relationship in order for you to be able to open up and be able to have like a good repertoire with the person that you're dealing with so that y'all can get to know each other a lot better. But lying about petty shit, like when you ask something, you know what I'm saying, where were you?
Oh, sorry. One more time. Go ahead.
Where were you? And even though you, the person, a lot of times people ask you questions they already know the answers to when it comes to the specific questions they ask when you're in relationships. So if somebody asks you where you was at and you was like, nah, I was, you know what I'm saying? Or that did you take this? And they no, you know, that type of petty line in a relationship usually causes um you to raise a red flag. What are some of your thoughts about lying in a relationship?
Um, yeah, I feel like that's an immediate red flag. Uh, So I did want to get into that a little deeper, right? Because there are a lot of lies. There are white lies, which he would call little lies. But do you think that little lies matter too? Like, is it okay? Should you just let little lies slide? Like, what if he lies, like, and says that, uh, I don't know, his mother is dead, and really she lives 20 minutes away. Like, or what if he says that he still has his job? Oh, well, are those little lies, right? Like, what if he says he's a
Those are
three-time?
big lies. I don't know about little
Those are
ones.
big
Not
lies, right? Okay.
your
So what if
mama
he says
being
like,
dead.
what if he says like he's allergic to dogs, but really he's not? You know, like
Okay, yeah,
stuff
stuff
that
like
you
that.
didn't need to lie about.
Even like, oh, he used to do this in the job, or she used to uh make dresses.
Right.
Um,
Like what do you think about little whatever is a little lie? 'Cause I feel like all lies are big in my opinion. And if
mhm.
you're a liar, that says a lot about you. Nothing good, but it says a lot about you. So do you think that white lies are okay?
I think some lies are usually the lies that they try, but they claim are protective lies. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
don't want to hurt the other person, so they lie, or they uncomfortable, so they lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or they don't have an answer to it, so they lie. But in a relationship, lying about little things can give definitely a red flag that you will lie about anything though.
Right.
Like
Right.
like if you know it's only you and your partner living in the house, and you went in the fridge, or well, I like my chocolate in the fridge, so that's why I said in the fridge to get some M&Ms. And then when you go in the fridge, the M&Ms is going. You like, oh, did you eat them M&Ms? And you're like, nah. First thing off the top of their head was, no, I ain't eat them. But I
Right.
mean, it's only me and you living here, so who else could possibly eat? You know, stuff like that. Or
Exactly.
if they move something, now you know you left this on the dresser,
Right.
and then you come back, it's not there, and then you ask them if they moved it, like no. But then you find it someplace you know you wouldn't put it. Who else put it there? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's annoying lies.
Right.
Or like you got a job and you don't have a job. Your
Right.
job is basically lying that you have a job.
Okay. Or you say you work at the bank, but you're the janitor at the bank. Like,
Hmm.
not that anything's wrong
That's
with
a
that,
big one.
but you were
Or,
misleading because, of course, you let the person come to you and talk about the tellers at the bank, and you did not say that that was not your position. Um, I feel like, of course, you know why. I feel like it's self-explanatory. We can talk. We can touch on it later if you want to, but of course, it's self-explanatory why big lies are an issue. I just feel like white lies are also an issue, or little lies. I don't know if white lies is politically correct anymore. Little lies are also an issue because I think that that says, like, I don't know, I think that's a childhood issue. Like, what had you so afraid that that you were, I feel like that's a response out of fear to just make up something or,
Mhm.
some kind of instinctual response to just come up with a lie instead of just saying the truth about something so small. Like, did you put my shoes in the closet? No, I would never touch your shoes. But you put my shoes in the closet. Like, why
Right.
is that your reflex? That's a reflective thing, reflexive thing. So I feel like that says that that person has some rooted, deep rooted issues that they have not dealt with. They should probably
Hmm.
deal with that before doing anything else. Like, there's really, if you lie in a relationship, you lie everywhere. I don't see that there's a difference. So you really should deal with that before you start bonding with your family, your friends, a partner, whoever.
Hmm.
So
I'm trying to see. Okay. How's that?
good.
That better?
You look really pretty today. I thought I should point that out.
Oh, thank you kindly. You know, sometimes age weighs on you, but I guess today I'm doing my thing. But I mean, defensively, lying defensively. I guess that is a mechanism to cope with when somebody bombards you with questions or
Exactly.
catches you in a wrong moment. You know what I'm saying? And they're like,
Exactly.
oh, stuff like that. But what about like plant lies? Like people planning on doing things. That's like lying too. You know what I'm saying? When you plan on sneaking behind somebody's back and doing stuff,
Oh,
and you know
definitely.
all the time.
I
or
feel like
lies
that's
that to set up a situation so you can get out of it later, stuff like that.
exactly. I feel like that's a big. I feel like that stems from the same thing. Like it almost makes me feel like they had parents who always responded quickly with anger or something that makes them feel like they have to pre-plan or reflect or automatically like it's almost muscle memory to defend themselves or do or say the thing that would protect them even though they're grown and not in that situation anymore.
Yo, not to be funny, man, but I had a girlfriend, yo, and she lied. No, I'm being serious though, but this shit funny though. Think about this though. She lied about having seizures.
That's crazy. Why?
Why would you lie about having seizures? I don't know, but I mean, she used to go like Ola, like she would actually have a seizure. And the reason why how we found out that she didn't have seizures is that we took her to the hospital and we needed her moms or somebody in the family to, I guess, answer these questions or whatever, but due to her age. But when her mom came to the hospital, she's like, she don't have seizures. And everybody said, they're like, huh?
Oh
You
my
know what I'm saying?
god.
She don't have. Well, why lie about that though? Like I
Right.
said, it's a defense mechanism, a coping mechanism, a way to deflect and
Exactly.
not to deal with the real situations going on with yourself.
Exactly. And that's also a huge red flag because now those people are projecting their issue onto their partner, and that creates
Hmm.
trust issues with the partner. Like that could have been a secure partner prior to this relationship. You don't know what you leave them with now. You know that's where heartbreak comes in. Like now you know spent all this time trusting this person and everything they said, down to them saying that they ate an orange in the morning and they're
Hmm.
like definitely allergic to oranges or something. I don't know, or they just don't even like oranges and don't eat oranges. It was a lie. Now that partner who's been affected by this person is going around and they can't trust their whole world no more. You know, however they internalize it. And now, like, there are really people out here that can't trust their world no more because they had a partner that lied so much.
Yeah, but that don't only go with relationships. But that's just people, period.
That is
Friendships
true.
as well. When you got friends that always got to be lying, like, girl, why you ain't got no money? Oh,
Yeah,
because you mismatch. I know, especially if they work at the same job and y'all do the same thing and make the
exactly.
same amount of money.
I have a friend like that. Like, literally, we talk about stuff, and then I go on social media, and it's the complete. This is almost like what we talked about last time. It's the complete opposite of what we said. Like, you
Mhm.
told me that y'all broke up. Now you on social media. Oh, oh, yesterday he did this week. No, yesterday y'all was broken up. Remember? Like, remember? Yes, you called me and told me that. And then on top
That
of that, I just don't understand why. Like, it has to be something like a coping mechanism, like you said, because they offer up these lies sometimes. Like, I did not ask you a question. You did not have to call me and lie. You did not have to go on social media and post your lie. Like, nobody was interested in your lie. You just came out of nowhere with it and felt that you should share it with the world.
some people they feel like people wouldn't like the real person that they are. But I don't think that that's what it is though. I think it's that they don't know who the person that they are. They don't know how to get there. So
I
they just
agree.
lie and make up stuff. They start believing their own lies. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Until it just I guess manifests itself and
Exactly.
keep and
I feel like that's the problem with the fake it till you make it. That's the most. I think that's one of the worst pieces of advice I've ever gotten in life. Faking it till I made it has got me into so many bad situations because you don't make it. You don't make
that's
it
not
until you
true. You
start
see, that's not
on
true.
it.
You have to instill that in a situation where faking it till you make it really would apply. Like
I
when you have
know,
to
but
follow rules and you don't like the people that's around you, you know what I'm saying, that's doing the rule, but you know they're superiors, just fake, you know what I'm saying? Just fake like you understand what they're saying, take their
right,
direction and keep it moving. You don't wanna get no type of altercations with people that have authority over you in that situation.
right. I mean, that is true too. But as general advice, I think people need to be more specific.
Yeah, I
And
guess they
make
need to be more
this
specific. You know,
until you
you
make
don't want to be in a
this.
relationship with somebody acting like you like them, even though the
Okay.
sex is horrible. And so you having sex with your eyes closed so tight,
Oh
and,
my God. Okay.
and all they doing is pounding and or even like laying there not doing nothing. Like nobody
Exactly.
want to have sex with no dead fish. I'm
Right.
telling you,
That's
just plain and simple.
not a fake it till you make it. That's a red flag.
Be honest. If y'all not meshing sexually, just say, yo, this not for me. I can't because that just make you lead to cheating and start sneaking and doing all that kind of stuff. And
Exactly.
most people only do that because they so nice that they don't feel like they should break a person's heart. But if you can't be honest, right, and tell them what you need in the relationship, then you should just let that person go. If you can't be honest with them, let them go. What are you
Exactly.
holding on to for security? You know you can wake up in the morning with them every day, regardless. Oh,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So that leads me to the next red flag,
Okay,
um,
talk about
growth, or rather lack thereof. Uh, fake. So that situation, you can't be honest with your partner. Y'all cannot grow. That's a big red flag. It doesn't matter if it's in the beginning of the relationship, 1 year into the relationship, 20 years into the relationship. Once you get to the point where you cannot tell them the truth, and it's not going to be perfect every time. Some stuff is always going to be a hard pill to swallow. So don't expect it to be an easy conversation. But if you cannot ever tell them, y'all cannot grow, because that leads to
it.
being stagnant.
So you mean like being stagnated in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, definitely. If you're not honest in the relationship, it will be stagnated. Because
Mm-hmm.
once you get to a point in your life where you need to move on or do stuff and you can't share that with your partner and get the support, it'll hold you back. And then
Exactly.
if they just act like they want to hold, they want to fake it till you make it, which is basically lying. You know what I'm saying? That they're there for you and then they not. Even and again, this is not only in a relationship though. This is with a friendship as well. People trying to say that they supporting you, but seriously, secretly they hating you. That is not where you need to be. But when you're in a relationship, you are changing every day. That don't change. It don't stop the changes. And if you're not upfront with the changes in your relationship, it will stagnate. It will keep it right where it's at. Because
Mm-hmm.
everything changes. Your body changes. Your mind changes. Your mentality changes. Some things you want to go and you want to grow, and when the other person don't want to go and grow, it gets tough. But again, preparation. If you can deal with a person for 5 years, at least 5 years, and be open and honest in the first 5 years, hey Tamara, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? In the first
Okay.
5 years, then y'all could probably make it through the next five if y'all do the same things y'all did in the first five,
Exactly.
right? But after 10 years, that changes more. It becomes harder to work at that next 5 years because y'all not the same people anymore. But there you go. You have to talk about it so that y'all can be the same people or at least on the same platform and make it 50-50 platform where y'all come together and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Start growing together.
Exactly. And I have an example of that, as far as when as in the friendship form. Uh me and this girl, me and this woman, because I'm grown now. I don't know why I've grown up say girl,
Mm-hmm.
but me and this woman were friends. And like I supported her. I was there when she had her son. I cut the umbilical cord for this baby. I even watched the baby for a month. Like while she had to go away for work and everything like that. And I thought we were so cool. And she was, I knew that we were not equally yoked, but I was older than her. So I felt like I had a lot of people in my life that helped me mature. So I feel it's only right that I do that for other people. Like if I meet somebody younger than me, I feel like we vibe and they're a genuine person. They're just a diamond in the rough. I don't mind being the supportive, wise friend for them. So
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and then I realized that she would poke at me all the time. Like I would say that I wanted to do certain things, and she would always have something negative to say about it. Or she would support me in doing certain things, and then when I go do it, she would say slick things, or she wouldn't show up for me and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was weird to me. And then of course, like you said, they say they're your friend and whatever. And I thought I was being honest with her, but she was keeping a lot of things from me. And it ended up being that she was sleeping with my boyfriend at the time.
What?
Yes. So
Listen,
that's kind of crazy. But that's how it is. Like when you think that you're being honest with people, and she clearly was all of the red flags that we talked about. There was no growth in our relationship. She was lying to me, and I forgot what the other one was. But our friend, of course, it was stagnant. She secretly didn't like me, so.
I mean, most of my stuff is loaded, right? But I'm waiting for the other couple of flags to get really in,
Right.
open about some of the red flags that I've seen in relationships. But I
Exactly.
mean, my last relationship, which is again I say 16 years now with the same girl, is still a work in progress.
Woman.
So I can't say past 16 how it goes, but I can tell you the first 15 was rough, but commitment to somebody who is open and honest with me as well, what I'm saying, caring, and fits the role of what I'm looking for in a person. I need to work hard in order to keep that going as well. So that's what I do. I work on me as well. You know what I'm saying? I take my time for myself, my 15 minutes of fame alone, whatever other things that I can do to keep my mind focused on being a good person within myself. Like I said, I meet people every day. I talk to people every single day. I talk to people every single day and find out different things in their life that's going on. So I try to find. I figure this is a good thing, but she supports me just as much. So with her support, you understand what I'm saying. I'm able to push through, and it's a good thing because I'm telling her what I wanted to do, and she's there.
Exactly.
But that's one of the things you want to be honest about is your dreams, goals, and aspirations from the beginning, though. Because if you give people choices whether or not to be in your life for that, or they will be able to determine if they would want to go do all of that what you want to do.
Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly. The most important thing that, so all of those things are beautiful, of course. The most important thing that you said was that you give people the option to decide if they want to join you in the things that you're doing or on the path that you're taking, because sometimes people could be together for 20 years and then that's it, that's the end of their path. Even if it wasn't before, they might just be at a crossroads and one of them has to go to the left and one of them has to go to the right, and that's okay because they were honest and open and doing all of the green flags that
Hmm.
got them that far, and now they can amicably part ways. And that leads us to our next red flag, which is forcing it, because there are people who do that too. Um, I have a perfect example. I know, actually, this is a bunch of examples crammed into one. There are a ton of people, relationships, friendships. Oh, no, let's do family members because we have not touched on that yet. There are a bunch of people who have relationships with their parents, and their parents do not support them. Their parents are not, they can't even talk to their parents. Their parents are negative or emotionally, mentally abusive, whatever it is. And they continue to say, oh, well, that's my parent. I have to continue to let them do whatever uh, detrimental thing they're doing in their life because that's their parents. Like, it's okay if you want to maintain a relationship with them, that's okay because it's your parent and you feel like that's what you need, that's fine, but you can't force it. You can't force the parent to be a loving, embracing, honest green flag parent if they're a red flag parent.
Hmm. I would more or less say you would need to deal with your emotions and whatever it is that's harboring you from being able to just allow them to hear and know what it is you're doing without needing their approval.
Exactly.
Because it, this is one thing about doing anything in life. You can't let nobody hold you back, no matter who it is.
Exactly.
And if your parents aren't as focused on your dreams as you are, then let that go. But what you really need to do is to work on whatever it is that you're harboring inside from the past between y'all two that doesn't give y'all a good relationship. Even if your parents don't want to work on it with you, you need to deal with it yourself and get over it. Put it to, what I'm saying, get over it. because anything's done in the past is in the past. You can't bring that back. You can't do a do over. There's no do overs. So what's done is done. What you can do is deal with the feelings, the emotions, and the situation where it happened, and let it go, and allow people to be in your life for their seasons and their reasons. But you continue to move on. You understand? Don't worry about what other people think or what other people do because they will hold you back. Love is you can love people from a distance.
Mm. And it's still genuine and it's still real and they still feel it from far. That's how we got through COVID. Everybody felt the love from a distance, so you know you can do it. You can do it with people that are not good for your mental health or your life. You can do it.
Mhm.
So that leads us to our next red flag, right? Because you mentioned people holding you back. The next red flag is people who come around begging. That's it. They think that their come up is off your back and you're the one doing the hard
No.
work.
Well, hold on. As why is there that she love? You can hear her good? No, I can't hear her well.
You can't
Why
hear
is
me?
that? No.
Okay, I can talk louder. I need
I don't think it's on your end, though. Hold on.
to. Okay.
Am I low?
No, you're a little bit louder now. Am I louder?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good. I'm good too.
All right.
All right,
All
what you
right.
saying?
Um,
Sorry.
okay, so this leads us to our next flag, because you mentioned people holding you back. So the next red flag is for people who come around begging. Like they think that their come up is off your back.
Begging
Begging.
all the time.
Like, I mean, from the beginning, like, okay, let's say you meet someone for a date. This is back to relationships. Friends do it sometimes too, maybe not as early, or maybe they
Mhm.
sometimes they do it as early. So friendship or dating, excuse me, family is a little bit different. They might fall in this category, but a little bit different. So let's say you meet someone and y'all spark it, y'all hit it off, either friendship or a date, and they're like, whenever you got it's time to meet up, it's like, oh, I don't want to spend any money, or oh, can you come pick me up, or can you give me rides to work? Just constant little things like support me, but I don't have the capacity to support you back. And when I
Mm.
do, I probably don't reciprocate.
I mean, those type of relationships is very strange, right? But I mean, friends, friends. I mean, I don't really have a lot of friends. I have a few friends. Quite honestly, I don't have a lot of friends. Everybody else that I communicate with in my life is my family and my loved ones. So that
Mhm.
basically is very tight knit because you don't get into a lot of trouble if you don't have a lot of friends. But I'm trying to make a whole bunch of friends, new friends, and help a lot of people out.
Mhm.
But sometimes people get needy, and then some people be greedy. They just always want to be penny pinchers and save their money for what they want to do. But when we out doing stuff, like the people who used to not have the whole 250 for the weed, want to smoke out your whole weed, and only got $2.
That's funny.
Want to chip in on the bottle, but they got $5 and they want a $30 bottle,
Right.
and they only drink $5 worth out the bottle. They just try to drink the whole bottle with you, or beat you
Right.
to drinking the whole bottle, stuff like that. Those are the people you're supposed to have in your life. And, I mean, and that's a big red flag. Like every time we go somewhere, you got the minimum amount of money to put into something, and who needs a friend like that?
Exactly.
Seriously.
I wholeheartedly agree. So I, of course, well, but we'll share with everyone else too. So I think we actually mentioned this before, probably in the Get to Know Us episode. I'm one of
Hmm.
these, on both sides of my family, on my mom's side and my dad's side. I'm one of the youngest grandkids, or cousins,
Hmm.
out of us. And I have always been taught by y'all that I'm taken care of. I come out with y'all. I don't ever have to worry about nothing. So I, have that mentality now, and I feel like I am, especially if I invite somebody out, I don't mind taking care of certain things. Uh,
Hmm.
but like, I don't feel like people should just expect it from me because I don't just expect it from y'all. If y'all did what y'all could for me, and I'm grateful for it, but I never expected it. I just was like, okay, they doing this out of love,
So
and
so what you trying to say? Some of your family members trying to get back some of the money they spent on you years
no, I'm
ago?
not talking about them.
Imagine,
Right?
imagine.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah,
No, I
well,
mean like I just feel like this taught me how to deal with beggars. So I
mm,
don't mind doing things for people now because I'm used to that. That's all I know, to be kind, and I like that. So I deal with beggars like this. You come around, you ask me for something. You got one time to ask me for something and borrow anything. I don't care what it is, and I don't get it back. You can that door is closed. The bank is closed. I will never have it any other time that you ask me. Like I got
listen.
somebody right now that borrowed $30 from me, possibly 10 years ago. I don't even remember how long it was. Of course, I don't
Hmm.
need the $30. But it's the principle. I talk to you quite often, and you still to this day have not mentioned that you owe me $30. They've asked me for money other times. Even talked to me about how much money they had. Asked me for money other times, and they never pay me back, or they never brought up the fact that they didn't pay me back. So I told them I have it, and I will never have it. I'm sorry.
Well, one thing I've learned from my mother, and it's a good thing to know, especially when it comes to people, do not give nobody no money that you can't afford to lose.
Okay.
Because expectations from people can be quickly dissolved if you trust in everything that they say. If a
Exactly.
person ain't got $30 a day, why would they have it tomorrow?
And that I
I'm
never
just saying.
understood that. Just wait till tomorrow.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? You just got people like that. Some people like, they be like, oh my God, I get paid on Friday. Let me just hold this. It's Wednesday, it's Tuesday, and they get paid on Friday and they borrowing money. Now, if you borrowing money on Tuesday, got paid people back on Friday, how you gonna get to next Tuesday? Much
Exactly.
less next Friday.
Exactly.
So those are the type of people you just you recognize it, you let them go. But if you like them as a person, it's really fine. But you just can't be in a situation where you will allow them to be able to borrow money from you because you ain't around.
Exactly.
So anytime they call you, this is where you come with the lie. You busy. See you. There you go. There go some definitions of some of the white lies you might need to tell in
Right.
order to save yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not every lie is a lie of deception. It
Mhm.
may be a lie of protection. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
You
So I
gotta be like,
definitely
girl, I ain't home. I ain't got time. Nope,
okay.
I ain't got cash app no more. They stopped my card.
Okay. Like
Hey, if you need food, girl, the EBT working. You know what I'm saying? That way, you can give away $30 of food stamps if she's hungry. If I have it, okay.
exactly.
I'm not gonna waste my food stamps. If I did get food, I don't get food stamps. But if I did, I'm not gonna waste my food stamps not buying food and putting it in my fridge and buying stuff to make sure my cabinet is because you always gotta have a rainy day fund and you always
Mhm.
gotta have food in your house. One of the things you should never, as anybody, I don't care who you are, is not have food in your house. Your priorities definitely. If you can't afford to eat a meal every day out, you working, you need to buy food in your house. You can make a meal last night, can be your lunch the next day, and you'll never have to be hungry. And it's very cost efficient as well. Very.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, that's a big red flag. If they want to borrow money, they need to hold something, always need something. That's a
Right.
big red flag in
Always
any
need to
type of
bribe.
relationship, friendship, family ship, any of that stuff. Those are
Exactly.
not the type of people you need to keep yourself around when you focus. Now, if you're rich and famous like Beyonce, I can imagine the problems you have. You have to have a steady, 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 steady heart to be like no to all these people because with that type of money, it'd be hard for her to be like, I don't have the money. She can't say that. She got to be like, look, I can't help you out no more. You're not doing what you was doing and thinking that it's okay that you have this bank to come back to. You You know what I'm saying?
She's a
It's a,
Virgo. As a Virgo, I'm sure that her loans come with rules, so they probably don't want the money anyway.
I'm trying to say, but I'm just saying, like with money like her, decisions is not very hard. I bet you.
Right.
Unlike us people struggling down here, like I don't want to see my friend hungry. You know, they tell you, you know, they need money for gas to get to work. Then you don't want to see that. But if they continually can't pay back the money because they borrowing gas money from it, you got to look at like what are they doing with their money? They're not prior, prioritizing enough in their life for you. So you would need to step back out of that relationship.
Exactly.
I got a red flag I want to talk about. It's
Hmm.
called love bombing.
Oh, the one. This the one. Lord.
Those people are dangerous. You know that, right? People who just shower you with love as soon as they get attached to you. Hook, oh man, so that
Hmm.
stalker, but you know, people like that are very insecure and
Hmm.
unhappy with themselves, and they need to work on themselves before they get in any type of relationship with anybody,
Exactly.
because
So
that's not healthy.
exactly. I've had a friend like that. We used to be friends, and it was just everything. I couldn't have an honest conversation with them. Everything that I said, it turned into an argument. But
Mm,
whenever I did something, there they were supporting me, loving me. I'm so beautiful. I'm so this. I'm so that. They're so proud of me. I'm like, we have not resolved one issue yet. Like we have not
mhm.
gotten past anything. We literally just ignore all this stuff, and then they just shower me with affection, friend wise, and we just pretend like everything is cool. Like it was the most shallow relationship I've ever had, honestly.
Mhm.
Even with all of that, it was just like this is not real. Like at first, I used to appreciate it because I don't know, attention is exciting to me in the beginning, but once like the glamour is over, it's like, all right, why are you doing this? What do you want from me? And then it really just let me see that things were one sided with me being a good friend and them doing this facade of
Yeah,
pretty much
but the reversal is what's powerful though. When they start wanting to kill themselves and you take their own lives because they can't be with you no more. That's a hard thing to do. That's a lot of pressure to put on one person.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pressure to put on someone who want to get away from you because you're not being either honest, you're either
Exactly.
always lying, faking it till you're making it, doing some kind of crazy shit in this relationship where they can't focus on getting anywhere with you because you're doing all type of other stuff.
Exactly.
One day you sit here and shower me with, don't want to go, you want to be all up under me. Next day, you know what I'm saying? Why am I acting like this? I can't that rockiness, I can't deal with people like that.
Exactly. I've had a relationship like that too, where I just maintained it because I felt like they were not in a healthy enough state to deal with the end,
Hmm.
which was bad for me because I also deserve peace, you know? But to have to worry about someone, it's hard to have to worry about someone's mental state just because you chose yourself and you decided that it's not healthy for you to keep them in your life.
What I think people need to understand is that I personally say I don't have a degree in psychology, so I can't deal with all your mental situations that you need help. You need to go seek some help. You need to speak to
Exactly.
somebody.
I agree.
But which lead me into this another red flag, which is alcohol, drugs.
Oh,
That's a big red flag. Let's talk about drugs.
talk about that. Oh, are you gonna start or you want me to start? Because I can start.
No, I'm gonna drink some water. So you start.
All right, so I'm gonna start. Um, I call myself a recovering alcoholic. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't think a lot of people are honest about their alcohol addictions. We grew up seeing that. Like we could have been at a 1 year old party, a 1 year old birthday party, and everybody's drunk at the party. Like
Hmm.
I didn't grow up knowing what was in the cups, but I grew up seeing the cups around. I grew up seeing the bottles, and then as I got older, I put it together. I
Hmm.
remember once I started drinking, because I started drinking at like 19. Once I started drinking a lot. I remember one time I got really drunk because I drank on an empty stomach, and Grandpa told
Hmm.
me. I started throwing up right at the party. I
Mm-hmm.
started at 8. I was throwing up by 10 o'clock. I passed out, woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The party was over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember Grandpa told me that I didn't have the head for drinking, and instead of stopping, I took that as a challenge.
For real? That's what you took that as a
Yes. And
challenge?
then I joined the military, and, and that was like a frat house all the time. Like from Wednesday to Sunday. And then if we were off on no, from Wednesday to Saturday. And then if we were off on Monday, then it would go from Wednesday to Sunday night. Partying. I'm getting home at 5. I gotta be working 5:30. Like, and we before we go out, we pre-gaming. So we gotta drink a whole bottle before we go out. Like it just became a thing for me to the point where we had designated drivers, of course. At least we were responsible enough to do that. But it was like we used to take cabs, whatever, walk. But it just got to the point where I was like, why am I drinking so much? And then I got pregnant, so that's how I quit.
You
I,
see what I'm saying?
I had to. I didn't have a choice. And once I got sober, it was just like I don't ever want to do that again. I am to the point where I can drink socially, but it was just like having a monkey on my back all the time. And I didn't understand why I needed it, but partying felt so fun. But when you're sober around drunk people, it's not fun. They look like psychos.
See, the thing is that people who are alcoholics have very bad addictive behaviors. So addictive behaviors is one of the things that are costly in a relationship because you will stick with somebody, you love them so much, but their behavior, that alcohol changes people sometimes, and they not the same person. But you see, once you invest a little bit of time in people and really truly invest time in them, you get to know them, you get to love them, you get to understand them. You know what I'm saying? And you accept the alcoholism. But when it changes the relationship into violence and abuse and all them other things, that's when you're being just as bad as the alcoholic because you're not trying to tell them, look, go get help.
Exactly.
And it, you just stay around that until they ruin you, then that's what ends up happening. You get ruined. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
By the alcoholism.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with drinking. You know, it's legal. It's okay to drink. I'm not going to never say it's nothing wrong with it. But you have to drink once you drink in moderation or, responsibly, where you're not getting sloshed every day and angry to the point and waking up sick if you don't. Because after a while, you can't drink alcohol and not drink every single day. You can't. Your body then becomes addicted to it, and you try not to drink, it makes you sick.
Exactly. I
So
agree.
that right, that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Also, some people they drink to get violent.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the worst thing though is they get drunk, they get violent, they get beat up. Now they wake up in the morning,
All right.
they so drunk they don't.
Don't know what happened.
No, they lose their composure. They all somebody gotta do is wait for them in that stupid moment and knock them out or knock them down.
Exactly.
So
I've
how a
seen that.
lot of men want to know where that money went out they wallet because they done drunk that whole fifth and passed out on the couch and so you done slipped two of them bills out while you was sleeping sitting on your wallet. That's why they put money in their sock, ladies.
So check there when he go to sleep. I'm just playing. And I like that you said addictive behaviors because I know we all laugh when Judge Matthews says, "Oh, that's a crackhead. I know a crackhead when I see one." Da 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 da. They got crackish ways. But anybody that is addicted to anything has those crackish ways. If you're addicted to shopping, gambling, alcohol, drugs, uh,
Pills.
right. And literally anything can be an addiction. You can be addicted to TV. You can be addicted to social media. Whatever has you to the point where you start acting like you can't live without it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a empty fulfillment. Like if it was positive in your life, you would feel full. You eat until you are full. You don't just, unless you have a physical disorder, there's a stopping point because it filled you up. These addictive things are empty. It's always you're always chasing the next high because it was never enough, and
I don't
that's how you
understand.
tell.
I don't understand how could eating yourself till you're about 600 pounds be a high. Because as you start to gain weight, you personally start to feel that
Right.
you can barely breathe.
But
You know what I'm saying?
people do these addictions. A lot of people do these addictions to forget, either forget or to numb something, whatever they think that they're running from, and it's always something within. So you really can't leave it behind. So they started it this way, and then next thing you know, then it fell off the wagon, or they've mentally made themselves feel so bad that they just can't stop doing it. Now they're helpless to whatever their addiction is, even if it's shopping, because
Listen,
everything is a coping mechanism. So when they
I'm
figure out
not.
what they have to cope with, they can stop.
I'm not. I still have a few things I need to work on, especially cigarettes. I'm addicted to them. But I've noticed that Newport has changed their cigarette. It's not the same anymore.
Right.
You know, and but see, there go people. Some people that Newport's is not the same anymore. I'll find another brand that I can deal with. You know,
Right.
some people quit smoking because the price of the cigarettes.
Oh
You
yes,
know what
I
I'm
heard
saying?
that.
My mama was one of them. She smoked back in the days, and when they got the $2, she was like, "That's too much." Huh? She said, "That's too much for me. I ain't smoking cigarettes no more. $2, people." She was like, "That's too much money for me. I ain't smoking cigarettes no more." And she never smoked again. And that was a good reason. But I use that as an example to say, listen, you need to find a good reason to stop doing some of these things because you mess up a lot of relationships that could be good for you. You know, you are forcing these people out of your lives because they don't want to be around the drug.
Exactly.
They don't
Or
want to be around
weekend,
a crack
or
player.
somebody just starts acting the ass because they can't get whatever they're addicted to. Like if you're addicted to something, first of all, that's how you know you're addicted to something. You have to go off on everybody when you can't get it. It's a problem. It's a
I mean,
problem. You act
who?
like you got crackish ways.
Yeah, but who want to deal with somebody who's super nice when they're high, and then when they're not high, they want to be cursing everybody the hell out? Listen, I
Exactly.
ain't got time for your bipolar moods, boo boo.
Okay. Right.
Keep
Go
it
to mental
stepping
health,
with that
not
shit.
self
That
medicate.
don't make
Exactly.
no damn sense. Like, I mean, it's funny though, but you really need to find somebody that can deal with some of the stuff that you do because your relationships will never work out. Don't nobody want to deal with stuff like that. You
Exactly.
know, you popping pills and now you just you on this beautiful high and everything in the world is beautiful, so you want to make everything in the world beautiful to you. But when you
Exactly.
can't get the pills or you can't get the drugs, now you all, you know what I'm saying? No, nobody want to do with that. But look at the emotional damages that causes. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And women, if you with a man like that, or men, if you with a woman like that, and y'all have children here, look at that behavior. Look at what they're seeing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Yeah, and y'all making it seem like it's acceptable. That's not acceptable. These people need help. People, you need help. You need to talk to
Exactly.
somebody else. So you have positive relationships out here.
Exactly.
Positive relationships. We don't need that. Fine, it's cool. Smoking weed, sip a little coke, whatever you want to do. Just don't do it to the point where it affects everything that you do in your daily life. Quite
Exactly.
honestly, some good songs was made off of some good coke. You can't deny that. Ask Whitney. Yeah, I
And
can't
that
tell
goes.
me it's listen, I love Whitney Houston to death. Can't nobody take nothing away from him. Can't nobody take nothing away from Whitney, but she was high. We can see she was high.
Right.
Whitney had a lot of issues. She did not want to deal with them. That's how she tried to deal with them. You
Exactly.
understand? Really? Listen. Can't nobody sing like Whitney Houston. Can't
No.
nobody sing like that. Right. But
And then.
the
Uh-huh.
drugs played a part in a lot of stuff and what's so bad about that? Whitney was definitely on drugs a lot of her child's life. You know what I'm saying? Because she went down the same path as she did, which is so sad. Nobody went to step in there and talk to Whitney about that. And you know what I'm saying?
And I was
That's
gonna say
crazy.
that goes for your friendships too. Why your friends only around when you got the drugs? When you don't got the drugs, you don't have no friends. That's a problem. It's a problem for all of y'all, you and your friends, if that's all they come around for. It's also a problem. Same thing with sex. Why? Sex is now the new addiction. It's the newest addiction. It's the most dangerous addiction. It breeds life. it takes lives. Like it's a lot at stake with sex.
You know,
So
sex
yeah,
addiction is a whole, not only an episode, girl, but we could talk about that for years. Okay, because that go a long way back with that sex addiction.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Men are definitely at the head, the forehead of that. They are definitely leading the path down the road when it comes to sex. That's all it seems like they make it seem like that's all they think about with the stuff that we see going on. That's
Mhm.
what it make it seems like to me. That
Right.
all they think about is sex. There's nobody. I mean, there's other men doing other things, but at the forefront of everything is sex. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Even though it's not that apparent, but it's still sex. You
Right.
understand? And so once they did that, and once they did that, you know what I'm saying? It really is very hard for people to take that away from their mentality when they think about men. You know what I'm saying? All they're doing, all their life, most of the time, is thinking about sex.
Right.
Really? Instead of being a great king, they only thinking about is sex. They want all this money so they have all these women. That's what that leads right back to sex. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
want to play sports. Sex. Not because they want to be the greatest in something they can do, or because they can get this. It still falls under sex. About the ones that can't, that need sex from children. It's just, oh, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
We can
That's
move on because we can sit here for a while, the rest of the night, just on that one little small situation there.
right.
Terrible. So, what's the next flag?
It's another flag. I feel like we covered all the biggest ones. Oh
The major ones.
yeah. Okay. So no, I think we touched on this before too. Hmm.
Which one?
I was
Hold
gonna
on, what's
say,
that?
okay, well, no, you know what? We can talk about it this way. We haven't talked about it this way. So this is another red flag. Another red flag. Oh, no, I have two. This one is family intruding into the relationship, even if it's a
Oh,
friendship. Um, that's a big red flag. Like, let's
mm-hmm.
say you introduce your friend, your mate, or whoever, your partner, whoever, to your family, and your family is immediately rude to them, or uh, they think that they get to decide who you pick, and that's a big red flag. If their family does not have boundaries, if their family thinks that they come before the, especially the mate, the friendship, okay, but the mate, if your family thinks that they come before your mate, that's a red. Like if you meet someone and their family thinks they come before you when y'all enter into a relationship, that's a red flag. Especially if they don't defend, they don't set clear boundaries with their family.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, if they allow their family members to run their relationships, will not allow people to get in good ones because nobody don't want to be having the family members telling them all up in their business. However,
Exactly.
you know, a lot of that can be avoided by not telling your family members your business.
Okay. And like I know that this is what made me realize that this is obviously a red flag that people don't know is a red flag because there's
Mm.
always that thing going around that who comes first, your wife, your mother, your daughter, your sister. First of all, sister shouldn't even be on there, but okay. Second, it's your partner. As a mother myself, your partner comes first for the simple fact that your child is only with you for 18 to however many years. If you're the type of parent that allows them to come back as many times as they need, that's fine. But really, society, based on society's guidelines, you're only going to have your child in the house for 18 years. Your partner is going to be with you for the rest of your life, 40 years, 50 years, however many years. Your partner is first. Then it's your child. And then your relatives fall by the wayside until they fall in somewhere. I don't understand. Your mother's not a priority, especially if your mother has a husband. Your sister is not a priority at all because that's your sister. That's was never your child or anybody that you were responsible for in life. Um, just to even have to ask that question, and so many people think it's mother, sister, anywhere in the first two categories is a problem.
First of all, if you and your partner don't have a good understanding relationship and they think that other people come first, then you need not to be bothered with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to set boundaries, and that can be a big red flag in a relationship because they're gonna be constantly choosing, and we don't need people. You don't need people constantly choosing. But you should not be bringing people that you not investing good, healthy relationship time with around your family anyway. Shouldn't be bringing them to meet your mother, your sister, your brother, nobody. Because sometimes they're just based on what they see, they're gonna tell you that the person is not what they think is right for you, and that might not all to be the case. You understand? So I figure like, no, you know what I'm saying? Stop bringing these people around so early. Get to know them first, and then you won't have to worry about their family being in your relationship. And
Right.
whatever type of time that you spend with a parent, for instance, mother, father, whatever, your parents, however the setup is, you need to explain that to your mate as well. Listen, I always take my mom to the store on Saturdays, girl. Be a couple of hours, that's what I do. Let them understand the relationship that you have with your family members as well. You know what I'm saying? So that it's not a surprise to
Exactly. And
them. I mean,
so,
simple. That one pretty simple. But it is a red flag that if your mother could tell you don't date somebody because she ain't like the way the girl looked at her, or she ain't address, her as Miss Thompson. Miss Thompson just mean. That's all.
exactly. Exactly. It's a red flag if your mother thinks she get to name your baby. It's a red flag. Like that's all the red flag. And it leads to so many insecurities. I see so many women, they're like, oh, what do you do if you don't get along with your in-laws? Da da da. How do you get them to like you? You know what the fuck I do? Move on with my can I curse? You know what I do? Move on with my life. What the hell? I don't even care if my own family like me. Why? I'm not dating his family. I'm dating him.
hmm hmm
No, that's a red flag on you for being so concerned with people liking you. That should not be a
That's a big thing. You have to love yourself, and you have to love the person that you're becoming and that you're growing into. And the way to grow yourself is to just take information and take heed and watch, sit back and watch what goes on in life, and
exactly.
what's good for you. Stuff, practice what's good for you. I mean, you can't just be singling people out because they have, they like to drink. But if you notice that they are alcoholic, and you don't be like, look, I think you drink too much. Is there any way you can start, learning how to slow this down? And they don't want you to, you get out of that. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? If you go to a barbecue and you bring in this person over here and they like, look, I'll wait in the car. That's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Why they don't want to, meet your family members? What is it? What type of control are they looking to have over you to keep you distance from your family? You know what I'm saying? So that they can take advantage of you, or I call it the Stockholm syndrome. People don't know how Stockholm syndrome is is very broad out here. Just a
Mm-hmm.
tad bit. That's what some people, that's what they do in relationships. That's another
Exactly.
red flag when they
Exactly.
when a person want to keep you isolated and to themselves all the
Mm.
time. That's a big red flag.
Okay. That is a huge sign of someone that's controlling, possibly narcissistic. Like, why do they need to have you isolated? Why are they not secure enough for you to have your own free will in your life and still know that they can trust you and that you're happy with them and that you're not going to leave them? I dated a dude that literally, like, if we parked at the gas station and somebody walked past the car and I watched them walk in front of the car, he would get
Mhm.
upset. Oh, you're checking that dude out. I see you looking at everybody. Yes, I am looking at everybody. I'm parked at this pump and a lot of people are walking by the car. I should be aware of who is walking next to the car. I'm not checking anybody out. Simply because someone might be interested in me does not mean that they have a chance with me. I also have to like them back. I'm not a piece of meat. I'm not a burger. They can't just pick me up and eat me. Like, I also have to make a decision. And so that is a sign. That is a sign, a really bad sign. Jealousy is not a good sign either. They don't need to have you in a snow globe. You're not a painting on the wall. You should be able to live a free life. The same way they come and go, you should be able to come and go too. If they don't have any friends, that's also a red flag.
I mean, in a relationship, certain behaviors, certain behaviors, certain things that's been done in a relationship can cause these insecurities. Can cause a person to be jealous. Can cause a person to be a little bit overbearing or want you to be isolated because some of the things you've done in the relationship, cheating, lying, stealing, whatever you do, whatever big uh I don't know, big thing that you do in a relationship that could cause. I know I got stuck because I was thinking of the word, and I think I knew the word, but it just didn't want to come out my mouth, so I ain't say it. Just changed my whole thought right there. Fuck it,
Right.
But when somebody do something in a relationship that's very hurtful or really painful, and you don't and you choose to get back with them or accept them, that can bring a lot of insecurity in a relationship as well. However, there is a thing called love, right? And if you love somebody and they do something to you and you feel like what they did to you, that you can forgive them and accept it, you need to forgive and accept. Don't use that to hold on to it later on in the relationship, to use it as a reason why you're doing this now. You know what I'm saying? You need to, once stuff like that happens, because you can't. I know a lot of people like, oh my God, girl, how could you be with him? He done cheated on you 30 times.
Right. It
That's
happens.
love. Right. Okay. But if she loved that man for who he is and how he treats her, fine. If she's accepting of that, but don't go say, yeah, I'm gonna accept that, then turn right back around and say, you know what? The only reason why I'm gonna stay with this nigga is so I can hurt him.
Exactly. Because now you a red flag.
Right. Now you flip the flag script.
Exactly. And forgiveness is for you. It is not for the other person. The other person does not ever have to apologize. You have to apologize to yourself for accepting that. You have to apologize to yourself for allowing that. And you have to apologize to yourself for not giving yourself the grace to be better. That's it. You don't ever need the other. Forgiving the other person is not a conversation that you have with them. That's something that you have within or with your therapist if you need to go to therapy for it, but that's something that you deal with, and you really it never you have. That's why people end up in a situation where they continually bring it up and they keep throwing it in the other person's face, because the other person's reaction is not satisfactory. It's almost like the addiction. It's empty. It
Mm-hmm.
does not fulfill them. Once they forgive themselves and have that deal with that within, whatever that other person does, that other person can apologize every day. They'll get to the point where they're like, you don't have to keep apologizing to me. Like it's done because they feel their hole. Nobody can see or feel a hole that you have within. That's why you become a red flag, constantly belittling someone or throwing it in their face something that they did before, whether they are remorseful or not. It just now it makes you a bad, now it makes you the villain in the story, I guess, instead of just them being the villain by themselves or them being a negative person by themselves. Now y'all are two negative people together, and you lowered yourself to meet them because they never rose up to the occasion when you could have just left them and been the queen that you're supposed to be or the king that you're supposed to be.
I'm saying that toxicity with holding on to the past things, for telling people that you forgive them when you don't really forgive them, it's like another card to use when you need an excuse. And basically that's not what you should be doing. If you say you're gonna forgive a person, forgive them. Nobody said anything about forgetting. You don't forget what they did. No, it does. But you gotta also remember that will always put you on your guard, no matter what. But here you do go making a conscious decision to trust them again. That's on you. You understand what I'm saying? You trust in this person again. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? But yes, now you're gonna be aware of that flag. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna keep your eye out. But it will breed a little bit of insecurity. And a person can't be wrong for being insecure when a person makes them insecure. You understand? You make them insecure. But crazy stuff is like, to me, is I had to really mentally grow up with like when it comes to situations like that. But when you got girls that got like bad bodies, they are definitely gonna attract a lot of attention from men. No matter if you're a man or a woman on their own, men are gonna stare, women gonna stare, everybody gonna stare because they're beautiful. If you choose to be with somebody that's beautiful, you have to deal with what comes with messing with someone that's beautiful. You understand? You can't be a person that's insecure and then want to be with this beautiful person, because people are always going to be, marveling at their beauty. So you would have to deal with that within yourself. So if you're not a confident person, you shouldn't be with somebody that's outgoing and beautiful on the outside, appealing to people's eye, because everybody might not consider what you consider beautiful. But in this day and age, if you got a fat ass and and big titties, and you got on spandex or that TikTok outfit, you trying to bring that type of attention to yourself, of course. But again, y'all, here a woman would say in that aspect, it's my body. Why can't I show it? Why can't I wear what I want to wear? But y'all don't understand that when you wear what you want to wear, it breeds certain type of attention.
Oh, we could talk about nudity. We are going to talk about nudity, and all of that on our next episode. So
Yeah,
we're not
definitely.
going to go
That
too
right
far
there
into
was that
that.
smack though. That's gonna smack.
Right.
I know y'all gonna tune in for that for sure. That's gonna smack. Talking about women wearing what they want to wear, but and the type of attention it draws. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Mhm.
But back,
Oh,
we got.
okay,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
there's plenty of flags. You got another flag?
Yes, I do. This is our last flag.
Okay.
Um, so that brings us to our last flag, right? Insecurities, trust, beauty. The next flag is bros before hoes, or I don't know, chicks before D's. I'm not sure what the women one is, but
Huh?
that's a red flag. Like your friends, again, when we talk about the hierarchy, they weren't even listed when it was wife, daughter, mother, sister. Friends was not on the list. They don't come before your relationship. Uh, it's not like Future said, "I ride for my dogs, I lie to my bitch." Like, no, that's backwards. That's not where it's at. That's a red flag. If he can't tell his friends no, he can't go wild. If she's canceling plans with you to go hang out with her girls, if it's always a girls trip and you can't never a couples trip or you can't never come, if it's always bros spending all their money together but he can't buy you nothing. No,
Hmm.
red flag on the play, all that.
Flag on the play, but there you go. I did a video about that. He's just not. He's only there for the sex. You know,
Okay.
sometimes if a man don't want he want to hang out with his friends more, he want to hang out with you. He is not into you in a relationship. Second of all, because I don't know about nobody else, but I love spending time with my wife. She knows how to spend time with me. You understand? You
I
know, she know it makes the atmosphere comfortable. I mean, I guess when you get older, you really not gonna be going out that much anyway. But I mean, definitely going. You know, if your single girlfriend want to keep taking you to the club every night, you want to be single too. That's what you need to do. That's not no place for no woman in no committed relationship to be out hanging out in the club with their homegirl who, no matter who buy her a drink, she opening the legs for. You can't, you know, those ain't the type of friends. Those the type of friends you let your girl hang out with. You know, you gotta think your girl suspect. She don't want to be hanging out with nobody like that anyway,
exactly.
right? Second of all, your bros ain't gonna be there cheering your ass on when you trying to get some of that pussy. So you always gotta remember that shit.
You better hope
Cause
not.
don't that definitely come first.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can't complain about you ain't getting nothing at home if you're too busy playing 2K with your homeboys in the crib. Do
And
a
that
couple of
definitely
things around the house. You know,
exactly.
give her a few slaps on the asses, couple of compliments during the day, and later on that night, it could be a good possibility something might pop off. But I
Right.
mean, just build that repertoire. And a lot of people that don't have nobody in their life is gonna hate on you for having you a good little relationship and having fun with your shorty. And if you allow that to come in between, then you might miss out on a good shorty.
Exactly. Right. And because she's not your mother. Okay. She don't gotta call you when the street lights come home. Like she's not just someone that tucks you in at night, make sure you eat, clean up behind you. Like, no, she's your partner. Y'all supposed to be on the same page. If you don't want to spend time with her, you shouldn't be with her. One.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sleep at night lying to the person or disrespecting or ignoring the person that you laid down to every night, but being loyal to somebody that is in a completely different home, probably not even
Mm-hmm.
thinking about you, and probably want to be with your girl because they friends, the bros really do be in the DMs. And you know what I mean? Like, what is that about? Like, I don't get it. That's a huge red flag for all of them.
I mean, like I said, you got to give your man some time to himself with his homeboys and whatever. But if it's an everyday thing, you start to think they in a relationship, then
Okay.
you might want to take a step back on some stuff like that because that's a quite of a possibility too.
Exactly.
Undercover brothers, you know,
And we
out
grew
there.
up like that, right? Like grandpa used to be on the stoop with his friends all the time.
Yeah, but he
But
was in front of
we
his house though.
that, and he spent more hours with his wife.
Yes, he did, but even still, he was out there talking, shooting the Willy Bobo with his homeboys on his step. He was in
Exactly.
front of his house, so
Exactly.
he was a shout out away. My grandmother could stick her head out the window and say, "Popo, you could come up here for a minute," and he will come upstairs for a minute. It's not like, nah, Joyce, I hear like with my partners, them. I can't leave them now. You're crazy. We watching. He ain't doing nothing like that. He's saying, yo,
Exactly.
y'all, I gotta hold on. Let me see what my wife want. I'll be back outside. Just stuff like
Okay.
that.
And
If
he
you,
would
if
take
it,
the kids outside with him. So you wouldn't even have to worry about that. He got a kid outside with him. He outside with his friends, and there's a kid out there playing.
listen,
He watching somebody.
my grandfather was a man, and he was hanging out with a bunch of men, and any little fine little girl run down the street, of course, they made little stickers or whatever. But that's just what men do. But as far as telling your wife, you coming home at 8 o'clock and here it is 10:30, and you're not answering your phone or you sit here lying, stuff like that.
Hey,
Hey, Pika, stuff like that. That definitely is one of the things that we know that's a red flag right there. That you would rather spend
exactly.
more time with some dudes than you spend with me. Nah, I'm good with all of that.
Exactly.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, women too. You want to stay, hang out with her homegirl, and she don't want to come home to you. That's a problem. Cause I don't know too
Okay.
many women like that. But if
Okay.
a woman don't want to come home to you, you must be a terrible fucker.
Exactly.
You gotta be.
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
red flag right there.
Hmm.
They don't want to come back home. That's a red flag. Your presence is terrible, and they just feel like they stuck there with your ass because they didn't have a baby with you or something. Y'all on the
Exactly.
lease together. Shit like that. You be fucking shit up. That's why you gotta
And
get
I
to know these people. You gotta get to
exactly.
know these people before you get into some committed shit.
Hmm. One
And
hundred
it's
percent.
okay. It's okay if it don't work out the first couple of years. You find yourself, oh, nah, that's not the person for me. It's all right. Pick yourself up. Work on the stuff that you realized you did in that relationship. What you accepted, what you didn't accept it, how you behave, how they behave, and keep a focus on that. And then in the next relationship, make sure you touch on those key elements before you start getting involved. Like if you notice that y'all jumped into bed the first day you met, probably the next guy you deal with, you want to wait a couple of days this time. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly. Ooh, I feel bad for people in situations like that. Well, not bad, but I feel for people in situations like that because I'm not the one. I don't care if we in the lease. I'm leaving.
Hmm.
I'm out. I'm gonna find a way. Like I can't do it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that one part of sometimes feel being insecure allows you to accept a lot of things. A lot of things that you don't, you know what I'm saying, you would normally not accept because you're not in a good place in your life. That's why I advocate for people to start trying to be in a good place in their life before they go out and start and bring other people into their lives. Because if you're
Exactly.
not, you can't handle what's going on. You understand me? And then you get
Exactly.
trapped up. I'm trying to avoid y'all from getting trapped up. Just be a lot more patient with stuff you do. There's a whole lot of stuff you can do in life before it's time for you to be just getting trapped up by people who don't care about themselves. If a person don't care about themselves, they ain't gonna care about you.
Exactly.
They not.
That I learned that the hard way. I guess this would be my final thoughts. I probably have two. I learned that the hard way. I used to ask people to do things in a relationship, and I felt that I was telling them what I wanted. Really, I was begging
Hmm.
them to be a different person. And then I realized that they were incapable of taking care of themselves. I felt like a mother. If they were taking care of themselves, I wouldn't feel like their mom. I would feel like a partner. So I had to realize that it was time to stop asking people to take care of me who have not learned to take care of themselves. Because they, like you said, no one can take care of you better than they can take care of themselves. However they're taking care of themselves is all they know. All they know. So they don't know how to take care of you, and we need to stop doing the treat others how we want to be treated, because in a relationship that doesn't work. That works with strangers, but it doesn't work in a relationship, because I don't want to be treated how my boyfriend wants to be treated. I want to be treated how I want to be treated. He wants to be treated how
Hmm.
he wants to be treated. So I need to treat him how he wants to be treated, and he needs to treat me how I want to be treated. That
But
enhances
you
the
do
relationship.
understand you have to express that in a relationship for a person to know that. Nobody
Oh
knows the
yes, of
fuck is on your
course,
mind. You
of
got to be
course.
like, yo, look, I want you to twinkle in between my toes.
But
And
what
then
is
they can go,
twinkle?
that relaxes me. Say, hey, when you rub between my toes, that relaxes me. How am I supposed to know even touching somebody's toes is good for them? Some people don't
Exactly,
like their feet touched. Yep.
exactly. And that's why
Stink feet.
communication is key. That's why communication
Yeah,
is key, because that's how you get
that's my
that.
point.
Treating other people how you want to be treated is you using your thoughts and just trying to figure it out on your own. That's impossible in a partnership. It's two minds that do not telepathically communicate. You have to verbally communicate.
Mm. But that's also we didn't talk about it as a red flag so much, but definitely there are a lot more red flags out there that people do this display in relationships
Right.
that will cause us to keep an eye out in the relationship and not want to be yeah, we both still who froze like that.
I'm not frozen.
Oh,
Am
I
I
was
frozen?
frozen on my screen. Now
Oh,
everybody was frozen on my screen, and made me lose my damn train of thought.
oh my god.
That's crazy.
Communicate.
Selfishness.
Oh, okay.
No. Selfishness is one of the red flags that we did not talk
Mm,
about, but I wanted to just touch a little bit on being selfish in a relationship. There's no room for selfishness in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? There is
exactly.
none. You cannot be selfish in a relationship if you want it to prosper, for sure. And if a person is just that everything is about them and all about them in the relationship, they are taking more than they are given. That's a big red flag.
Exactly.
That
That's
is a
a,
big red flag. You know what I'm saying? Because you want everything in the relationship to be 50-50. You know what I'm saying? There will be some things that you would do more of than the other because it's either that you're better at doing it, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Or it just fits the role of your relationship a lot better if you deal with it. Like money management. Somebody in the relationship is always better managing money. So that might be their responsibility 100% time, 100% of the time. But you could always help out. You understand? Wherever you need anything in a relationship. Cooking is a big one. I mean that I know a lot of people would love their relationships to be where it was a 50-50 cooking situation. Some people want 100% to be the ones cooking all the food. They love to cook. They want to cook for their mate. That's some of their love language. So another thing
Right.
we need to talk about is love languages. This is definitely, something people need to know how to, find, recognize people's love language. But that's part of love language, stuff like that. But everything else in the relationship should be 50-50. But
Exactly.
if a person you find that the person is always taking and never giving, that's a big red flag. They ain't gonna never change that shit. Never.
Oh, of course, I have an example for that. No,
Talk to
true.
me.
I got an example for everything. I've done a lot in 33 years.
Imagine.
30, 32,
You
32, something
don't
like
even know
that.
how old you are no more. That's good. Listen.
um, but shame you forget.
Yeah, y'all thinking of
Okay,
old people?
so
That's a
no,
pensioner problem? No, everybody forget. Good.
right, because it's not that important anymore. I'm grown. That's it. All I have to do is make it to 18. I don't need to remember 21. I don't have to remember the
Mhm.
rest. But yeah, so I dated somebody like that. Everything was what I could do for them. Everything was about what sorry, I was reading that comment.
Okay.
Everything was about just pretty much like we couldn't even have a conversation about anything that I liked. Literally everything that we talked about was only what he liked to talk about. If I even started a conversation that he was not interested in, he would just like walk away or get on his phone or like zone out in the middle. And I was just like,
Mhm.
okay. Like how selfish is that?
Oh, I dated somebody that it was only wanted me to come around when it was convenient for them.
The
and
worst.
that was very selfish in the person, because I would be there maybe hanging out for a little while, and as soon as somebody else that they wanted to be with or chill around, they would ask me to dip off.
Right.
And at first, because I thought that was the only person that I could be in a relationship with, because the way sometimes that they treated me, I thought that's the way relationships should go. But
Exactly.
then when I realized that they only wanted me around when it was convenient for them, that they was very selfish, and I can't be with nobody like that, because I'm not like that. I'm not selfish. I'm happy to do things for my partner in a relationship. I'm happy to do things for people in my family. Some people, like I said, all they do is take, 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 take. They never give, 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 give. And
Exactly.
selfishness is not only a flag in relationships. When it comes to partners, it's also relationships when it comes to friends and family members too. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You just can't be allowing people. Uh, Naja says that's the same person I had 2 kids with. The hurt I beard, honey.
Oof,
Okay.
I understand that.
Well, so that's why we talking about these red flags, because when you notice that they can't not be selfish, then you have to withdraw yourself in them type of situations so that you can get yourself whole, especially if you have 2 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You need to be whole for your children.
Exactly.
But like I always say, if you can't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things about taking care of yourself is admitting that you need the help.
Exactly.
That's the first thing. Admitting that you need the help. Believe me, with people, when you have people around you that love you, they will help you. They will
Mm-hmm.
definitely help you. And take their advice. Some people know better than others because they've been there before. You understand? So
Exactly.
it's crazy. Those type of red flags. Especially I mean, well, it's so selfish in relationships that make you want to be, it makes you so angry that you want to hurt them.
Mm. I've done that before.
Like, damn well that was the last set of money we had. You would go and gamble that money to see if you could double it.
Okay.
Selfishness. It's just a lot of the flags you got. Those addictive behaviors. These type of behaviors, those addictive behaviors in relationships is costly. But one of the things people need to learn is you need to always get to know these people before you have children with them,
Mm-hmm.
because you do not know what you're getting, and
Exactly.
then now you don't know what you're mixing up in a bowl and spitting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Ooh, the live jumping late. People in here late. It's cool though. Ash, you any more red flags you want to talk about?
um, no, I think everyone needs to let us know in the comments if you want to hear some more red flags. We could do a second
Mm-hmm.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely get that popping
Okay, a second episode popping about red flags.
about red flags.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody in the comments have anything else for us before we go? We'll get to our final thoughts and get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you a funny story in the meantime, right? Because we was talking
So,
about Grandpa on the stoop, and Grandma
mhm,
walking over to the window in their bedroom, which is in the front of the house, to yell out
mhm,
the window and call for Grandpa. She will
mhm,
also do that to call for us. She either will walk from the bed to the window and yell out the window, or walk from the bed to the door and yell over the banister.
mhm,
There
mhm.
has been so many times when she called me in the room to ask me to get her the remote or turn off the light. Like, ma'am, you walked to wherever you walked to call me. You passed it.
Listen, my favorite one is when she calls somebody's name and that's not the person she wanted.
Okay. And then mad you ain't answer. When she was calling you. I didn't know you was
But
calling me. You did not say my name.
exactly. Yeah, but that person still ended up doing what she wanted anyway. But the
Okay.
thing is, like, all them kids running around the house and you can't remember who you was looking for. That's funny to me. That's the funniest to me. Because you got all these little girls running around here, and they all got different names, and you was probably a
Okay.
part of naming them, and you don't remember nobody's name or what they look like.
Right. It wasn't. It's not even like we all had the same letter. It's very few with the same letter. It's everybody is a different name. Don't sound the same. There's no names that are like
Like that you could actually mix together, right? There's none. There's
right.
none.
That
That's
is so
just too
funny.
much. There's too much going on. She
Exactly.
said, Blazing say yes. My mom used to do that all the time. She got a, she got twins. So could you imagine?
Okay.
Oh, wrong twin, wrong twin.
Right. I'm in the house with three J's right now. They like, you sure you said that? Because it sounded like you said my name. No, I did not call you. Actually, four J's.
Hmm.
Three of them is children. I'm like, oh my God, you say one name or something that even sound like a name. Three of the kids might come running at once because they think you're calling them.
Exactly. Then you just call a whole bunch of people name and everybody show up.
It's so funny.
But when something happened and people got in trouble and she started calling people name, nobody used to
Right.
come.
By running.
Everybody's staring there like,
It wasn't
you
me.
better
She
find
didn't
out what
need
you want.
me.
It was you. It was you. It was
Right.
you.
Mm-mm.
I mean, but that's just, I guess that's kids playing around, kids having fun.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, Jersey's finest up in here. How
Yeah.
you doing, Jersey's finest? Everybody up in here late tonight. What y'all up to? What's going on?
It's Sunday night. Is it a holiday
Yeah, I
tomorrow?
guess they finally settled down and ready to kick the Willy Bobo. So
Right.
what's going on? Shout out to Jersey's finest, Naja's Brook, Naja Brooks sing out, Peekaboo, Blazing, Tamara. Thank
Yes.
y'all for all checking us out, and thanks for the support. We love it. Don't forget to like the video, though. You gotta like the video. Please, people, like the video. If you watched this, you didn't like it, okay. If you watched this and you liked it, hit that like button, please. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, on your way in. Please hit the like button. Now, back to red flags, since we got a little bit of crowd here. Yeah, I guess y'all could catch what we said before. We're not gonna repeat it. Any other what's another red flag, Ash, that we could elaborate on real fast, bro?
Real fast.
People. Uh,
Hmm. Let me think. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna think of a good one. Um. Okay, here's a red flag. Dating someone that don't take care of their kids. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. Don't do it. Because if you have a kid with them, they won't take care of that one either. Some people do change, but it's not likely.
I mean, how obvious is it that they don't take care of each other?
If you with that person every day for a month and you ain't seen or heard from that child, they ain't had no phone calls. They don't have no stories to tell you. They don't have no pictures. It's obvious.
It's obvious
It's
if
obvious.
they got on head to toe Fendi, Gucci, Prada, and their children got on head to toe Bobby's,
Okay.
Bargain Basement, and Bargain Hunters.
And don't
That's how
don't
you know it.
exactly. And don't just let them claim that the other parent is the reason, because there's court for that. If they
Hmm.
don't have nothing legal in place, then they can literally just go over there and get the child because there's nothing legally stopping the person. I understand that court is not always easily accessible and that the court system does not always work in people's favor, but at least try. Then you can say there's a reason why you don't take care of your kids. If you don't do that, you're the reason you don't take care of your kids. It don't matter what the other person's doing. If they keep you away from your kids, they're not allowed to do that. It's illegal. They can be arrested for that actually. So if you pursue it
Definitely.
legally, because the system works both ways, that things can change. So
I
don't
mean,
be the deadbeats.
what type of person takes care of themselves but don't take care of their kids? It's a
Exactly.
selfish person. Very
Exactly.
selfish.
A
You know what I'm
lion.
saying? And why would you have these many kids if you can't take care of them?
Right.
Being irresponsible? No. So that's the type of person. One of the type. That's a big red flag. If they're very irresponsible, they're
Exactly.
not going to be good in any type of relationship. They don't know how to take any responsibility for nothing. What they going to be doing all the time? Putting it off on you.
Mm-hmm.
May,
I
you
was
know.
also in that kind of situation. I dated this dude. who,
Mm-hmm.
while the mother, okay, so here's my thing. I don't just take God's words for it because I know that some of them lie. So I get my own information. The mother was keeping the child away from him. That was a different story. But when he did have the opportunity, like went to court, got joint custody, everything, he still didn't want to do his part. He kept messing it up to the point where she had to like call the authorities in and tell them that they may have to change to amend the order because he's not doing it. Like he used that as an excuse. He was so unmotivated. He missed his daughter so much. Da da da. Da. And then when he had the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, he squandered it. So
Mm.
some of deadbeats because they don't really want to be parents, and it's easier to just blame the other person instead of being a parent.
Well, I mean, if you meet a guy and he has his custody of his child and he doesn't have no place to stay, that's a red flag.
Yeah,
Because you need to really think about now whatever you're doing in life. Women, and if you meet a girl and she has children and she don't have no place to stay, that's a red flag too. Because they're not taking their priorities right. The one thing I know, the system does not allow people with children to be homeless in the street. There's nothing wrong with starting over at any point in time in your life when things get messed up. If you got to pick yourself back up and start from the bottom, that's what you do. But have
exactly.
pride and be proud of what you're doing. Life is not very easy, and sometimes you run into these bad dudes who present who don't let you see the red flags right away. You know, you know what I'm saying? They bait you in, they set you up, and then you have to get away and start over. I can understand that,
Exactly.
but don't. As soon as the abuse start, don't let it get past you when you start hitting on your children. You know what I'm saying? You got to go now,
Exactly.
and don't be afraid. It's nothing. People will look down upon you worse if you stay in a situation than if you leave it, and
Exactly.
people will be way more willing to help you out of the situation than when you're in
Exactly.
it.
Go ahead.
But no, what I was gonna say was, if you done talk, I just wanted to talk. Did you see
Oh wait, I'm
that
not done. Then I'm
video?
not done. Then I'm not done. I got one more. Right.
Oh, oh boy, tell
Don't
me.
date people that are pregnant or
Mm,
got a baby mother that's pregnant. I also done this too. Lord, please learn from me, okay? I clearly got hit by a lot of cars, Mack trucks, anything that was on the road. You don't have to get hit by a car to know that it hurts, okay? Don't
mm,
date someone. You pregnant or your girl is pregnant or the girl is pregnant. Focus on that child that's about to be born. How are you looking for someone else? You got to be at doctor's appointments. You got to get the room, the baby stuff together. You got to physically and mentally prepare your body and to have the baby or to be there for the baby to be born. Like you should not be adding people to this turmoil. I dated someone like that. The girl lived, woman when she was pregnant, she lived maybe like 2 hours away.
mm,
They were, I mean, they physically weren't together because she didn't live there, but like, I guess he was doing the back lying, one of the red flags we touched on earlier. And I wasn't aware of it. And then when it's not funny. It's funny to me because that was a fucked up
mm,
situation. I shouldn't have been in it, but that's what they get. When she had the baby, she wouldn't let him see it. She wouldn't let him see the
mm,
baby. Like he's still probably to this day not involved in the son's life. She moved. She got out of the military, cut off all communication, completely just won't even talk to him. He tries to go see the child. Well, I don't talk to him anymore. When I did, he used to try to go see the child. She wouldn't answer. So I don't even know if that child knows him. But I was dating him at the time that she was pregnant, not knowing all of the details. And then when she saw me, she still wanted to try to fight me. Like, girl, you are pregnant. One, I'm not here for the
mm,
drama. Two, I would never hurt your baby. Clearly, you don't care.
mm.
Like, it's just too much. So don't do it. They pregnant. Let them have the baby. Wait till the baby's one. You should not be dating if your baby's only a couple months old anyway. Like, let the baby be one. Let the baby live first. Then do
Mm.
some stuff.
You shouldn't be getting people pregnant that you don't want to spend maybe the rest of the child's life with.
Exactly.
That's what I say. I still start from the beginning here. Just stop making babies with people just because we can have sex and do
Okay.
it. How about
But
that?
we gonna cover that in our sexual addiction episode. So y'all
Okay.
pay.
Now, did you hear that whole McDonald's situation was a big setup? That
Yes, but
what you get?
her page is giving bitter baby mama. energy anyway. Even if that was a joke, like y'all not funny. That's well, her whole page is like that though. Even though they only have one kid and they're supposedly together, I feel like their whole relationship is ratchet. So
I mean, but what was the whole purpose of them or setting up that scenario? Because it wasn't like they was bringing something good to light.
I
Quite
feel
honestly.
I feel like a lot of people, because I ask this question quite often, because I guess the thing now is like, when people make videos where they make themselves look uglier or they make the ugliest face they can think of and stuff like that. I feel like
Hmm.
people think now, in order to get likes or go viral and blow up and stuff, people are doing ugly things to get attention. They need to come watch this channel because clearly they need to realize that self love is the best love, and they
It's
can blow up and
always
go viral by being positive.
but is it really the goal to go in order to go viral in this industry that you need to do something scandalous, made up or fake in order for people to realize that there's people just honestly out here trying to bring you decent content,
Exactly.
sharing experiences and things that they know so that you can learn, so that you can hopefully either get out of the situation that you're in right now, find support, do something that's going to be positive for your life, but just have people telling you that it's okay. You're beautiful just like anybody else in this world, and you
Exactly.
deserve the best in life. I don't think that we need to do anything scandalous on this channel in order to, you know what I'm saying, on this podcast in order to get people to listen. Because what that did was it made us, it put a light on a situation that is what? Nobody paid attention to baby fathers, whether they doing this, bringing food for just one child. And what was the point? Because I didn't get it.
Exactly. I didn't get it either. Like whatever happened to a joke being a joke? Why does everything always have to be at somebody else's expense? I don't understand it.
Well, somebody had pointed out in the video that where she was a building. So how what? So she was
Exactly.
bringing her kids to work with her every day.
I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's so hard to tell. Everybody is like they're literally doing exactly. I was just about to say that they do anything for clout, so it's so hard to tell what's what anymore. And then like I don't. I feel like if you're gonna be joking, then let it be known as a joke. You did this, created this serious scenario. Then when everybody judged you crazily, like wild, you made a response video, and then I don't even think she admitted that it was a joke. I think people just started to realize who it was that made the video, and then when they went to her page, they were like, "Oh, this is what she does." I don't know.
So
It's wild.
I mean, that was a whack prodigy of anything because I like I said I didn't see the point in trying to say that there's guys out there that would just come to support because what people actually did was they ran with that and made some of the made more funnier clips
Right,
and
actual funny
videos with
clip.
that information that she put out there than she did with the situation. She got
Exactly.
a bad look on her, I guess. I guess what they say, bad attention. Any attention is good attention, I
Right.
guess. So I guess
Right.
the bad attention helped her out a little bit. But now, anybody gonna really take her seriously after that?
No, but she'll learn.
I'm saying, if she don't even have 4 kids, that's terrible. Just making up shit.
Exactly. Like I just don't think that was funny because God forbid that was someone's real situation. They would need advice more than they would need the whole world to be coming down on them because that's really what it turned into. It turned into a whole bunch of people giving their very judgmental opinions, and the internet is already mean enough. You don't need to give people
Right.
reason to make it meaner.
I mean, seriously. Talking about, she can't feed the rest of her kids. I mean, who's that? Who's that? Who's doing that?
Exactly. But like what was a joke? What was a joke about not having her stance or not having enough? That is somebody's situation in real life. I don't get what was funny.
I
She
mean, the
probably
thing that people try to point out in some type of heritage with black people is just disrespectful. Seriously,
exactly
it ain't make no sense. There ain't no teaching moment in there.
at
Most
all.
prodigies might be funny, but there's a teaching moment. There was no teaching moment.
Exactly. It wasn't even funny.
It wasn't funny. I
Not
didn't
one
find it
laugh
funny,
was
and
heard
I
across
didn't
the
think it was cool that she would. If that was a scenario, she shouldn't put light on someone she has children with because the children would eventually see what type of light you're putting on that person.
Exactly.
And your relationship with them will definitely change because they don't like the way you're treating their father. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Especially if he's out here trying to at least chip in and do some type of part when it comes to his kid. So, and that was down for me. Any final thoughts now? You want to go now? We can go. I mean, we got a couple of people in here. They got anything, comments? Anybody want to join? We can open up the panel if y'all want to come up here. Any questions?
Mm-mm. I need to go. Too bad.
Oh, Ashley says she needs to go, people. So we're gonna end this video. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so when we drop a video or when we go live, you'll know. I'll
Mm.
let you know that we're live so that you can come in, share, subscribe, like. These are things that we need to help support our channel, people. We need them subscriptions. The goal is to get as many subscriptions as possible. We had 150 subscriptions. We keep climbing daily. I
Yes.
want to thank everybody who's supporting us, watching our videos, liking our videos, sharing our videos. Thank you very much. We need that. And don't forget, if there's something you'd like to see us talk about or would like to join us in talking about, drop it in the comments below and we'll get to it. Ash, anything you got to say for us?
Good night.
Good night.